All right, guys, we are here today. I just woke up. I'm sorry. I gotta drink some coffee. Um, mm. Good morning. Is the market falling? It is again today, man. Look at the SPY down to 580s. Brutal, brutal. Here's the Q. Let me look at the Nasdaq here. Q's down to 495s. We got Apple. Nvidia's probably what's dragging down. Yeah, Nvidia down to 110s. I mean, listen. I'm not gonna say I told you guys so. We had a number of different people that predict market crashes over the last 5 years. Most of them were wrong, or market corrections, I'll say. Most of them were wrong, to be honest. And they called me a permabull. They called me all this different stuff, telling me that I'm only bullish and all that different stuff. But I mean, was I wrong about a looming correction? You guys remember I stopped buying up stuff in like December. And here we are with a pretty big, significant correction. It's really not that difficult to predict here, but my point is people over-predict these things, but they do happen. And I'm not a permabull. I told you guys I stopped buying in December. And were we wrong here, guys? I don't think we were. Yeah, Nvidia down big, down to 112s. The Q under 500s. Let me get some music playing here. I'm trying to think of what kind of music I should listen to. I'll just stick with lo-fi. I think lo-fi is good. I remember, yeah. Well, I didn't say this was a crash. I said it was a correction, which it definitely is. I mean, let's see. Oh, man. All right, so the Nasdaq went as high as what? 541s. Down to 494s. Yeah, this is almost 10%. This is, I mean, look, Nvidia is the one that also corrected. The SPY corrected. Most of tech is down big, like this, Meta. Meta's down from 740s to 650s. So Meta's down 12%. Like, a lot of stuff's correcting right now. We'll see if it holds, though. Nvidia's down a massive, brutal amount. Still breaking down here. And again, obviously, most of this is on tariffs taking effect. All right, guys. Yeah, so Nvidia down big. Stock experienced significant losses. We got factory orders today too, which All right, so markets worldwide are experiencing declines due to escalating trade tensions. European stocks fell 1.3%, automakers dropping 4.3%, marking their worst day since September 2022. U.S. Treasury yields are near 3-month lows, with 10-year Treasury yields around 4.16%. This signals lower interest rates and ultimately a weaker economy that might prove to bring interest rates down. U.S. has imposed 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and increased tariffs on Chinese goods by another 10% effective today. This move has heightened fears of a global trade war. Canada and China have announced tariffs on U.S. products in response to raising concerns about potential economic downturn. Yeah. So that's the market right now. Yeah, so Dow's down 1.5%, such 650 points. Might be down more than that. Let me see. Yeah, so the Dow's down more than that. Dow's down almost, not quite twice as much, but close. 2 weeks ago, I said I was talking about a recession. 2 weeks ago, you said that we were in a recession. I'm pretty sure. And we're just not. This is not a recession yet either, guys. Like, again, tell me you don't understand markets work without telling me you don't understand markets. The reason you don't understand markets is because you're talking about stock price drops, which is what we're in, or you're talking about the market correcting and how that somehow equals a recession when it clearly doesn't. There's a big difference between stocks crashing and a recession, because we're just not there yet. A recession is a very specific technical definition that we're not in right now. A recession is 2 consecutive losing GDP quarters. Last GDP was 2.4%. And so we're just not in a recession, you know. We're not at a recession. The stocks dropping on fears does not equal a recession. Yeah, I still feel the same. And you want to be careful not labeling everything a recession every time you see weakness in any specific market. You know, we saw this a lot during the election, because like an election is like, oh, it's the end of the world, it's the weakest time ever. Like, both sides of the political spectrum want to label everything a recession because it sounds bad. The issue is that we're not in one. And the problem is that people label everything a recession when they're trying to make it look bad. Like, it's an election year, they want their guy to get elected, so what do they say? They say, oh, we're in a recession right now. And it's like, no, we're not in a recession. Like, trust me, if we were in a recession, everybody would know, and we're not in one. Again, from somebody that covers GDP every single month, it's revised, and every quarter we cover GDP. We're at 2.3, I think, percent, 2.3 or 2.4% right now. That's nowhere near a recession. And so I think people have to understand, people have to be okay with being wrong and just kind of like moving on and not like holding on to it and being secretly bitter about it, because, you know, we're just not in a recession. Nothing, you know, we're just not. Now, stocks are falling down and correcting for sure on this tariff news. Absolutely true. But that doesn't mean a recession. Not yet. Maybe it happens sometime this year. Denial and denial. Well, I mean, I think you probably just don't have much of an argument back, and so you're gonna act like, oh, you know, and that's okay. It's all love here, bro. You just don't have an argument back, and that's all right. You know, all these cheap products not about to be cheap anymore. Yeah. Yeah. So this is gonna be a day of people being mad at the market. Got to leave your emotions out of it. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Okay, so what you're really mad about is the technical definition of a recession, Journey of Souls. That's okay. You can be mad at that too. That has nothing to do with me. Again, stock prices dropping are not always correlated. If anything, right, like we had massive economic weakness in 2020, 2022. If they were always correlated, like we had one of the strongest bull markets in history in 2022 whenever in theory, we were doing like deep economic stimulus in 2020 to try to save us from the looming, like everything going on. And markets were doing good at that period of time. Same thing with 2022. 2022, we were doing like inflation that spiked at 10, 11%. It's just not always correlated. It's just not. I'm from Canada and was not paying attention on this ish around first admin. I've read and heard the same stuff happened as well regarding tariffs. Can you explain how it was? What do you mean? Oh, yeah. He was very strict his first go around. Like, I remember live streaming. He was doing the same thing. Tariffs. He was fighting with... it was mostly China last time. Is who he was kind of like going after during his first run. Yeah, he was absolutely doing it again. That go around too. But again, in that regard, it was mostly China that he was getting heated with for different reasons, but similar, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I read your definition, bro. So you're basically saying we should rechange the definition of a recession to suit you being correct. Got it. That's okay. I read it. I see it. You're wrong, but like it's okay, you know. It's all love here, man. We're all good, you know. If he was already like that before, yeah. I mean, you guys gotta understand. You know, I gotta really tread lightly when I say this, especially today. But the market will benefit a little bit from these tariffs. You know, like it's like, again, if you want the U.S. to be a successful country long term, you get some arguments. It depends, right? It's nuanced. You could argue that in order for the U.S. to be a powerhouse, we need to have like a good manufacturing system and sector down. Like we need to manufacture things. And I understand that. It's going to cause short-term pain though. You know, maybe it'll help rebuild manufacturing, but it's going to be a ways out. And so we're not going to see the reward from these tariffs for a ways, and we're only going to feel the pain. And so that's kind of how it goes, I guess. But let me know if you agree or disagree with the tariffs. I'm sure most people are going to disagree. But let me know. Do you agree or disagree with these tariffs? Maybe that's a good option for the poll here. You know, I try not to argue with people. I really don't. But, like, I just find my way into them. They're arguing with me over the definition of a recession. And they're getting mad at me that it's not defined as something different. You know? People just want to be right. That's what you learn on the internet. People just want to be right. I want to be right, too. So maybe I just want to be right. I don't know. But people definitely just want to be right. But, again, y'all are mad at the definition of a recession. Not me. You know? If you're yelling we're in a recession and GDP shows up at 2.3%, I might tell you don't have any idea what you're talking about. And by the technical definition, I'm not wrong. But it's all love, you know. Poll disagree. Okay, here, let's see. Do you agree or disagree with the recent tariffs on foreign countries? Should I do foreign countries imports? I'll just say it on foreign countries. That's the easiest way. Yeah, it's all good, Journey. No, it's all good, bro. I'm just messing with you, dude. Listen, it's early in the morning, and like I'm a little trolly this morning, so it's all good, dude. It's all good. I appreciate you being here, man. Yeah. So the question for our polls today is: do you agree or disagree with the recent tariffs on foreign countries? I think this is an interesting poll because do you agree or disagree with the foreign policy that we're enacting that's dragging the market down, basically? Now, it doesn't mean you want the market to go down if you agree with the tariffs, but do you agree or disagree? I don't know why I capitalized tariffs in the question. I don't think they should be capitalized, but that's all right. Yeah, I'm not going to be political. There's a lot I could say there. There's a lot I could say. And again, I'm very neutral politically. I go by policies. And so, to be honest, I'm not going to get into it. There's some things there's some things that make sense, and there's other things that make no sense, you know. And so, I'm just going to avoid it completely. Yeah, and just to put this into perspective, the last time he was his first run, I'll call it, a very similar thing happened. He kind of went head on with China at the time. I believe it was for oil, and it dragged the market down in a very similar way last time. All right, so we're going to get our X post done. All right, so we got European markets. European stocks are down by 1.3%. Automakers dropping 4.3%, marking their worst day since September. We did get funded yesterday, which is nice. I will take it. The problem with AI is that it's not consistent. I could say, hey, tag this stock. Every time you mention a stock, tag it. And give me the post exactly the same, but just tag the stock. And it'll send me some completely different post that is completely different than the first one that I asked it to keep it exactly the same. So, yeah, it's just not consistent is the problem. Market overview for March 4th. Tariff Tuesday is what we're going to tag this. All right, guys. Yeah, so again, we're going to break this down. All right, guys, here's our X.com post. If you want to check it out, here it is. help support your boy here with this post. Hit the follow button on this post. We appreciate it. All right, so look how split we are on the tariffs. This is an interesting dynamic here. So look, I asked people, I said, do you agree or disagree with these tariffs? 46% agree, 54% disagree. Very interesting split. So like, we're pretty split. I thought most people would disagree considering the red action that we're getting. Interesting. Has anybody ever seen the Office episode where they're talking about where Michael Scott like reads a magazine in the doctor's office and starts to like argue with Oscar about political and foreign policy stuff? And like one of the arguments they have is manufacturing and whether manufacturing's a real look at the strength or weakness of a country. Oscar probably correctly argues that it has more to do with information, the information sector and technology, less to do with manufacturing, modern age. But you know, I don't know. Jorge says, I thought most people understand tariffs and how they work, but based on your poll results, it's not the case. Explain. Delve more into it. Is it George or Jorge? Well, yeah, inflation fears is what this is really stroking here. But it's also, you know, people are scared on both sides, for sure. Nvidia didn't miss earnings. It beat earnings. It just negatively reacted to it. A beat is when it comes in greater than expected. Beats EPS and revenue. Like a beat means it did better than expected. Not price action wise, but by outcome wise. So like Nvidia can post, if they expected $3 for EPS and they show $3.50, that's a beat, regardless if it negatively reacts to it, right? Like, so if Nvidia shows $3.50, they expected $3, that's a beat for EPS, even if they drop 5% from it. At least that's from my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I am though. Do you think tariffs are going to take the market today at the open? I think it's possible. Where's Tesla at today? Yeah, markets are down big. All right, so U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says China's business model is to export, and that is unacceptable, and highly confident that manufacturers will eat the tariffs. U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says U.S. to become a major exporter of energy and markets understand the plan for energy dominance. President says all federal funding will stop for any college, school, or university that U.S. Treasury Secretary Bessent says set on bringing interest rates down. Honestly, one silver lining here in all this stuff is going to be interest rates, right? So if the tariffs do drag the economy down, the Fed is going to be a lot more likely to cut rates. I'm curious to see if the interest rates have pivoted back a little bit towards a cut. Yeah, so look, so this has happened. And you can kind of watch it again, guys. You can watch interest rates through bond yields, right? So if I put up T and X here, yields are falling, right? Yields this morning showed what? Let me see. I posted about it. Let me see. Yields are down. Let me see what the 10-year yields are at. They haven't opened yet, but 10-year yields are at 4.146%. So yeah, yields are down to under 4.2% right now. And what that means is that interest rates are coming down with it. And if we look at the poll here for March, so again, this rate decision is going to be on March 19th. Ooh. All right, guys. So yeah. If we look at the rate decision expectations here, 89%, 89%, 11% rate cut, 89% pause. So still 90 to 10 basically, but this has gone up. This was like 2.5%, and this was 97.5% a couple weeks ago. So this expectation has gone up a little bit based on just more economic weakness. Again, we're not in a recession, don't get me wrong, but yeah, the VIX is going to be high for sure today because market's down big. VIX goes up as the market goes down in a volatile way, right? As anything increases volatility and makes the market drop sharply, the VIX is going to follow it up. This is what's going on. Do I have another black eye? I think I kind of do. Yeah, I mean, tariffs might make inflation worse too. That's true. All right, here, let me. I gotta fix the banners at the top. Alright. We had ISM manufacturing data show weak. Yeah, I mean, tariffs will make prices more the retaliatory tariffs are going to make things more expensive to a certain extent. Now, if they're going to cause a big effect on it is more arguable. You know, that's more arguable. But, you know, they're at least going to make stuff a little bit more expensive because we're having to produce. Okay, this is why. It's stuff overseas from China is much cheaper than it is here, right? If we have to start producing things here, naturally prices are going to go up in some areas. That's not a crazy correlation. So tariffs are essentially a tax on imports, making foreign goods more expensive for U.S. companies and consumers. And we get a lot of stuff from foreign countries. And so in that regard, obviously, they're going to make inflations worse to a certain extent. I mean, that's very true. It'll disrupt the supply chain to a certain extent. You know, we're going to have retaliatory tariffs on their goods. And obviously, yeah, they're going to make it more expensive. If demand slows, though, businesses could absorb some of it instead of raising prices. Substituting imports with domestic products could help, but it takes time. These tariffs are likely to add some inflation pressure, especially in goods-heavy sectors like autos, electronics, and industrial materials. Again, we're pretty 50-50 split out of hundreds of votes, which is interesting. 49% agree, 51% disagree. show you guys some of my trades here. Again, this is a combine account, so small. All right, we're gonna add some size. Maybe take 8 contracts here. There we go. All right, we're gonna take half off, lock it in. Take another piece off, lock that in. Get a little bit more from it. There we go. Cut it. All right, cool. So we just made, I don't know, like 40 or 50 bucks. And we're gonna day trade a little bit too here. See, we were right about this downward action here. Look at this downward pressure on the NASDAQ. I'm definitely going to be a lot more weary to go long right now. The long direction's a little scary. Yeah, I mean, markets are definitely fearful right now. I'm going to be very careful not to long today, at least not right now. Maybe there's some edge long, but I got to wait. I mean, I care about fentanyl and the negative effects of it. But I don't know if these are going to do anything around that. I think everybody should fear that. Especially if you have kids, you should fear that. I fear it as a parent. But whether it's going to actually do anything, you know. I'm not a big drinker. Just cover it. I just don't. I'm not a big drinker. I drink occasionally at weddings and with friends and stuff, but I'm not really a. I certainly don't drink every week. You know, it's just a hard life, man. Like, again, I know too many middle-aged people here who, like, their whole life's drinking, and, like, I just can't really do it. It's just too much for me. You know, I also know that it causes some type, like, dementia as they get older. Like, there's, like, alcohol-induced dementia. Like, I know a couple people that are struggling seriously from that, where they've gotten older, and they've kept drinking, like, daily into their, you know, 50s, 60s. And they are getting dementia now, right? Where you can tell they're just a little bit slower. They don't really know what's going on in some ways, you know? They just don't. And so I just avoid it. It's a, you know, I'm good. Nothing against people drinking, like, live your life, but I'm not, it's just not something I do regularly. Yeah, the markets definitely don't like the tariffs. Well, there's going to be a short-term negative effect on tariffs anyway, though. If we get a little pop, I'll short. We're up some. We'll play with this. We're close to lows. I think we're at least going to... We might tap this level here and then keep... And then we might bounce up after we tap it, but I'm going to give it time to tap. So we made a bunch, and then we... Market's still bloody red. We've already made a few hundred on this. Yeah, we're up a couple hundred on the day now. That's good. I'm gonna get out now. So we are now up over 2. Again, the VIX still steady rising. I thought we were going to test this low, and it made sense. I should have held a larger position, but I'm kind of under the camp of like small, steady little wins, risk on, risk off trades. I'm not a big shorter, even like, again, I kind of called this correction. But I'm not one to short. I'm just not interested in shorting anything. I don't think the edge is very high. Shorting anything, especially not in like blue chips. I think it's romanticized and pushed to traders like, oh, short. But I'm not really interested in shorting tech bubbles. It's just not. The edge is very small. I think it's hard to predict, and if you're wrong, you're really wrong. So I'm good. I'll put myself there. That's probably the best spot. I'm not mad at you if you do short though. Yeah, and again, the rate cut expectations have increased dramatically. Is this your full-time job? Yeah, I mean, again, I'm going to preface this with not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose. I mean, I've made a lot of investing. I would say I'm an investor more than anything, and so I don't really have to work anymore. So I don't really need a job anymore. I can kind of live off of investments and business income that I've made. And so, but this certainly makes me money for sure. But I would call myself more of an investor, and I kind of run this YouTube channel as like I'm not gonna say a hobby because it certainly makes money, as like a side business, I guess is what I'll call it. Why would the rate cut expectations have increased? Because the tariffs are causing looming fear on the economy. And again, it doesn't mean we're in a recession. You know, markets are down big. There's a difference between economic weakness and a recession. One contributes to the other, but again, we need negative GDP quarter to quarter before we're in a recession. But the tariffs are causing fear and instability in markets, and that's causing rate cut expectations to increase. Yeah, but I mean, guys, listen, I'm gonna tell you guys the same reason I told you guys I thought we might correct sometime soon. I'm gonna tell you guys the truth, which is that we were up 105% on the NASDAQ in 2 years. 105%. The NASDAQ was up over 100% in 2 years, chat. In 2 years. Of course we're gonna correct. You know, this is why I stopped buying. Like, we were just too nonsensical. We were up way too much for me to buy anything. Like, I'm not interested in buying up hyper extended stocks. The market's just up. And again, the mania is one of the big telltale signs, is like the mania I see from people. Like, I hear different people that I know, nobody here, but I hear people I know telling people that the market can't correct anymore, that the market can't crash anymore, that, you know, the market's just going to keep going higher. They're shaming people for being nervous about extension. Like, at a certain point, it's too clear that the market's going to correct. Like, at a certain point, S&P, NASDAQ up monstrous percentages short term. and that's not sustainable. It's never going to hold. It's not going to work like that. It could hold, I guess. But the point is, it was just simply up too much. NASDAQ up 105% in 2 years, averaging, if you divide that by 2, you're averaging over 50% a year. That's crazy, you know. That's genuinely crazy. Averaging what, like 52.5 a year percent. That's out there. It's never gonna hold. And the amount of people that thought that, and again, just to clarify, this might not mean anything. Like maybe we correct 5-10% like we're doing now, and then maybe we just start ripping back up. Very possible. Doesn't mean we're not gonna do that. All right. The other thing that could happen, though, is we could go into a deeper bear market and downtrend for like a year. That's possible, too. I don't know which one's going to happen. It could get worse than that, too. We could go into a deeper market crash and downtrend for 5 years. Who knows? The latter is a little bit less percentage probability, but it's possible. It's not impossible. It certainly could happen, and I think a lot of people would argue it's time for that based off of the AI boom that the market has seen. I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think that I think AI is a very useful technology. And so I think that's going to prop the market up, even if we do correct a little bit. What percentage do you think the market can correct? We're down about 10% right now. How much do you think the market's going to drop total? Like 10%, 15%, 20%, 30%. Let me know what percentage in chat you think the market's going to drop total. 15% max, another 10%, 20%. We're just starting. I hope 10% more and that's it. 20% because of how overextended, 25%, 12 to 15, 15 to 20, 50%. Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. I really don't know. I'm just guessing here. I think the market probably, I hope, and it might be confirmation bias, like I hope the market rebounds and continues its run. Who knows, right? Like I hope the market rebounds and continues its run, and that's very possible. Maybe this might be a good time to buy the dip. I really don't know. I'm not telling you what to do. As I always say, guys, not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. Always make your own assessment. Trade responsibly. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Do not copy me. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. Y'all be good, guys. Be good. Be safe. Understand all this stuff. Understand CFTC 4.41 hypothetical or simulated performance have limitations. Somebody's asking me, when do I start to DCA? So again, look at this. We did break the low as I thought we would. I kind of stopped shorting after a certain point, but we did break the low. Some people are asking me, when do I start to DCA? I really don't know. I would, if we drop another 10%, I'd probably start, to be honest. Like if we drop another 10%, I might start to buy up stuff. But, you know, you got to understand, like there's a chance that you could buy now and the market just rips back up to all-time highs within a couple months. Very possible. And you're going to be looking like a genius if that's the case, right? There's a chance. But there's also a chance the market drops brutally over the next few months and just continues down and the market just gets dumped on. That's very possible too. And so I don't necessarily think I'm interested in buying up yet, although I do recognize that the market might just rip back up and test all-time highs. It's very possible. I'm not saying it's probable, but it's possible. And I would honestly say it's probably the most probable outcome is that the market rebounds back up some now. Who knows when it stops, though. I wouldn't necessarily start buying until we see some confirmation on the upside, though. Because right now, when we're in this brutal bearish momentum like this, you know, the momentum favors down, of course. Look at the NASDAQ fall here, guys. Wow, look at the NASDAQ dump. You know, and again, today, or this week, we have payrolls, which is like, you know, we got non-farm payrolls and unemployment this week, guys. That's not a small report, chat. That's not small. We got Williams speaking, Barkin speaking. Tomorrow we got ADP non-farm employment changes expected at 148K. Last time showed up at 183. We got the huge ISM services report tomorrow morning as well at 10. That's a big report. So next week we got CPI inflation. That's a big report. The week after that we got the Fed meeting. That's a big report. We got just a lot of stuff going on. All right, so here's the rebound back up. Dude, I'm hurt, bro. Like, I'm hurt. I went to jiu-jitsu last night. I did good, too, man. But, like, I'm hurt. My ankle on my right side is hurt. This hand is hurt. You versus Mark Z. Honestly, look, maybe it's my ego, but I think anybody that actually trains jiu-jitsu, when they see Mark Z rolling with like Lex, he's just really robotic, bro. I feel like I could take Mark, to be honest. It definitely, I think I could take him in jiu-jitsu. I know he's a purple belt. I'm a blue belt, but look, he might have just been flow rolling with Lex. Okay, that all I can really gauge is what he looked like. When he flow rolled with Lex, he seemed way too robotic. He seemed a little, and you got to understand, like, this is one of the richest, most famous people in the world, and so he's not going to be able to, like, I have exposure to everybody, right? Like, I can roll with anybody and everybody, and nobody's going to take it easy on me. And so, like, iron sharpens iron. Like, if I'm rolling against all these other people and they're not taking it easy on me, I'm going to have more exposure to tough rolls than Mark is. Mark might have better teachers, but you learn jiu-jitsu rolling a lot. And you could be the most technical guy ever, but if you don't roll against super high people, then, yeah. And so, I don't know. Maybe it's my ego. I feel like I could take Mark in jiu-jitsu. Striking may be different. He might beat me up at striking. I don't know. Again, maybe it's my ego. Very possible it's my ego. Just judging off of all that. Yeah, so here's my P&L, guys. Somebody's asking me for my P&L. Look, here's the list. My trading started right here. So we had 2 losing trades out of 19 today. 1 loss there, 1 loss there. So 2 out of 19 is my P&L today. We are up about $202. I'll take it. Too rigid, 100%, yeah. How's the YouTube passive income check looking? I wouldn't call it passive, bro. Like, I get people want to be passive and all that stuff, but this ain't passive. I gotta get up at freaking 6 a.m., dude. I start this stream at 6 a.m. my time. That ain't passive. Passive would be me laying in bed, earning checks. That's not this. It's a blessing, don't get me wrong, but it ain't passive for sure. He's the head of Meta. He might BB up, bro. I don't know. Again, watching this rolling footage, he's a little bit too rigid for me. Yeah. Top 3 most passive checks in the world right now, definitely. All right. Where's Bitcoin at? Has Bitcoin bounced back today? No. It's at 83s. Still under. So it dropped another 10K yesterday. Wow. Yeah, bond yields down a lot, showing interest rate sentiment going down. Yeah, Bitcoin is definitely not bounced back today. Again, I looked at it yesterday. It was at 93K. It's all the way back down to 83, looking weak. Nvidia's down. VIX is up. All the other tech stocks are down. Palantir down big too. So basically, yeah, I don't think you're getting how the rollover works. So Bryant, the rollover works in a way in which you trade the most voluminous contract, the most liquid contract, until another one becomes the most liquid. And so in theory, you would trade this contract until right before the rollover, and then you would switch to the most voluminous contract, which would be the new one, and then you just trade that one. All right, so all you got to do is the symbol you trade under, and I think TopStepX does it automatically. Like right now, you can see this is MNQH25, right? MNQH25. After this H number will change to something else. I can't remember what the next one is, but you'll just change the contract from this. It'll look exactly the same. It'll move exactly the same. One will be more liquid and one will be less liquid, but it'll look pretty much the same. That's all it is. You just got to roll it over once a quarter. Where's Tesla at? I'm looking at Tesla right now. Tesla 284s, bro. Tesla has had a really big downfall, of course. Look at this. 273s down big. Yeah, all good. Yeah, man. We'll try to trade some more. Again, Nvidia's down big. Nvidia microchips are dragging everything down. So straight jacket. So the difference now is really what I just said, which is microchips. Microchip influence plays a big factor over everything right now, bro. Like, and the difference between his first term and now is that his first term, AI hadn't taken off yet. And so like the tariffs, while they can be good or bad or whatever people want to interpret them as, they're not as influential, because modern age microchips are the end all be all of technology. AI is the future. AI is taking over, and so now us shipping those microchips in and out of the country is so much more influential. Like, it's so much more weighted to microchips now that the tariffs that we put on other countries, as well as the retaliatory tariffs they put on our products, it's going to negatively affect businesses in a much more profound way because of that aspect of microchips influencing the market, right? Like, that's the difference this year versus his previous term, is that microchips are much more relevant to the big picture of tariffs and everything. And so that's what's going on. Yeah, join our Discord. It's completely free, doesn't cost anything. There's the link right there. Sorry, Pawn, I'm just now opening it. So Morgan Stanley now expects the ECB to cut on Thursday and again in April. So the trade war stepped up overnight. 25% tariffs on goods from Mexico, Canada, and an additional 10% from China, which makes it 20%. China raised tariffs on food and other farm products, as well as adding export restrictions on American companies. Yeah, I just did a post to our Discord telling people to be careful about that one. All right, guys. Yeah, I don't think we have any other big economic reports today. So we made a little bit on our account yesterday. Here's our actual funded account. Yeah, y'all be careful. It looks like Sam in our Discord got hacked a little bit. Polaris, so don't click on the link. All right, so you can see we're up about 120. We're gonna start locking in some of this here. Ooh, another $55 gain. Look at this short. We're gonna lock some more in. Out. So we'll take that down too. We are up 331 on the day. 331, doing good. Slow but steady. And we got funded at one yesterday too. And again, guys, if you want to check out TopStep, TopStep gives you a demo. They test your skill with a demo account first. If you pass the test, they fund you. If you fail, you only lose what you pay for it. The base one is $50. Not the end of the world if you lose. Most day traders lose. If you put up 5, 10, 20, 30 grand, you're probably going to lose a huge chunk of that, if not more. And so it makes no sense to fund your own account. Learning to day trade genuinely makes no sense. Most day traders lose. And so if you try to figure out, like, you're probably just going to lose. It doesn't matter who tells you otherwise, what course you take, who your mentor is, like anything like that. You're going to lose in the beginning, almost certainly. And so try a funded account program. Don't risk your own money in the beginning. Don't risk thousands of your own money in the beginning. It just doesn't make sense. TopStep gives you a 50K demo in futures. In the futures market, it's where most pro day traders go. You can day trade the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell, some currencies, gold. Patterns are very similar to blue chip stocks, and day trading is very similar to day trading stocks. No PDT rule. You can see how similar this is. Again, for $49, they're going to give you a 50K demo. If you were going to pay for a demo with real-time data, it might be in the same ballpark anyway. And so again, for $49, they're going to give you a 50K demo. If you can make 3K in profit without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions on the base one, they fund you 50K with a 90% split, and they've paid out almost $200 million since 2020. They fund thousands. They've been around for over 12 years. And if you use my link and use TopStep X, 0 commission. So I can take these micro contracts, trade small, tiny amount per contract, and fees and zero commissions, and there's just a big edge to doing it. And again, it's the best of both worlds. If you fail, you're out $49. It's not the end of the world. And then even if you fail, there's a practice account you can use afterwards. So the value's there, Chad. If you want to learn to day trade, this is one of the best ways to do it instead of risking your own money. But again, they're an affiliate of mine. I get paid by them. I am biased because of it. Understand all this stuff. CFTC 4.41, hypothetical or simulated performance, have limitations, guys. I'm not an investment professional. But if you want to check it out, link is in the chat right now. Check it out. Anyways, market's still breaking lows, breaking down even more now. NASDAQ is down to almost 20K. Deep breakdowns here. Nvidia at 109s. Tesla at 270s. NASDAQ falling down deep here. There's no catalyst. This is tariff news, man. VIX is popping up to almost 25 right now. 25. Again, the QQQ all the way down to 492s. Yeah, so we're basically down 10%. This is now effectively a correction in markets, guys. Is there a national address at 9 a.m.? Yeah, today's the last slow day of the week. Every day after today's busy. Do you think it's a good idea to DCA every week, dude? I'm going to preface this with I'm not an investment professional. I'm not liable if you lose money. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything and everything I say. Don't copy me. I have no idea what I'm talking about. With that said, I think it can be a good idea to DCA every week if you got a really long-term strategy. Like if you're not planning on selling anytime soon and you're going to sit on things for decades, and you're DCAing a small amount every week, or again, if you're sitting on it for decades, I think it can make sense. It just depends on how diversified it is. If it was me, right, like if I'm holding something for 3 decades, anything going on right now is insignificant to me in markets, right? Anything going on right now, it doesn't freaking matter. None of it matters. Now, if I was going to DCA, I'd probably buy a little bit of the S&P, a little bit of the NASDAQ, a little bit of the Dow, a little bit of gold, a little bit of real estate investment trusts, a little bit of crypto. And I would just kind of slowly but surely add to those in small increments depending on what your size is. Like I'd say, hey, I'm going to put, $300 into each of those. $300 divided into all those different things once a week, right? So you're investing about like $1,300 a month. Yes, I know some people are going to say it's $1,200, but 28 days, 7, 14, 21, 28 plus 3 extra days. I just added an extra 100 to make it 1,300 roughly a month. And with that said, I'd slowly do it. But again, that is only under the lens of if you are holding it indefinitely for long periods of time, right? If you're holding it indefinitely for long periods of time, like you got to hold it like short term, anything could freaking happen. You can do this and the market can drop 10, 20, 30%, as we're kind of doing now. We're dropping 10%. And so the only reason you should do that is if you're holding for decades. Again, that's my way of doing it, is like if you're holding for decades, it doesn't freaking matter. But if you're trying to swing trade, or if you're trying to invest and you're only holding stuff for like a year, different story completely. Palantir all the way down under $80. It's at $79 a share. Yeah, we're still getting really hyper weak here, though. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up. Here's my Express. Yeah, so look at the Tesla stock. Market looks like it wants to crack lows again too, though. I can hear my son jumping. We got my son a trampoline that he sits in front of the TV and jumps on. So if he's watching TV, he's at least being athletic. And bro, he sits on that trampoline and jumps all freaking day. Like all day he's jumping and bouncing around on that trampoline. Honestly, one of the best investments we made. At least he's being active, is what it is. Like, at least he's actually being active. All right, so look at this crack lows again here, chat. Wow. Look at this breakdown. Cracking lows again. Hey, buddy. I was just talking about you, man. Hey, dude. Love you, bud.
Love you. Love you.
Love you, dude.
Hi.
Hey, this is my son, Jack, everybody. Say how you doing.
Hi.
What game have you been playing lately, bro? What's it called?
What do you want to know?
Oh, no. It's a horror game. All right, market's breaking lows again. See, one day you can help me with this. Look, market's breaking lows. Market's really weak right now. Market's going down a lot. The stock market is kind of a way you can use your head and your brain, and you can make money with it, Jack. But you don't ever want to day trade. Don't day trade.
What's day trading?
Day trading is like risky form of investing.
Is it like, say, this company's going to fail, and if it fails, you get like money, and if it
That's shorting. That means you're betting against the stock, and you make money if it falls down. That's shorting.
No, I mean like betting if the stock is going to go up or down.
Yeah. Well, that's what the stock market is basically you betting on a market. The easiest way to make money is long term. Like long term, the market's almost always going to go up. You know, short term, anything can happen though. Like the market's down 10, 15%.
I think it's going to go down.
Huh?
I think it might go down more.
Really? Yeah. Well, you think that, but short term, we're also down a lot. So like as it drops, things get extended. Right, so like as it drops, the more it drops, the more likely we are to get like a little relief bounce like that, and then we might continue down. But as we drop more and more and more,
I think it's gonna go down more.
You think it's gonna keep dropping?
Yeah.
And
I think it might go up a bit, then go down.
You think it might go up a bit and then down? Yeah, that's a reasonable thesis. I like it. All right, buddy. Hey, I love you, man.
Love you, Daddy.
Love you, buddy. Have a good day, dude.
Love you.
Love you, bud. Yeah, that's my son. Good kid. Just a good kid. Alright, so we got this little relief bounce. Yeah. Yeah, he definitely looks like his mom. He looks like me as a kid, though. Like, again, I don't know what changed. Like, I looked wildly different as a kid than I do now. I showed this picture yesterday. But this was me as a kid. So we actually look similar. AVGO bouncing back, Q bouncing back, VIX is up a ridiculous amount, but we are starting to see a little bit of a turnaround here. Yeah, no, he thinks I'm like a full-on Mr. Beast YouTuber is what he thinks. I try to explain to him it's not the same. I had a conversation with him the other day because he's getting old enough to where one day he can take over this and do whatever he wants with it. I had a conversation with him the other day. Was like, look, I'm not like Mr. Beast. I'm in the finance industry, and so even though I have like much less subscribers than a lot of entertainment channels, we make more money per subscriber than entertainment channels do, because in investing, it's just a more valuable industry. And so, you know, we had that conversation and explained to him kind of like we're kind of like a TV channel or a podcast about finance and stocks. So definitely top 3 in the world. Yeah, I mean, we're much smaller than Mr. Beast, of course. I'm not even claiming to be in the same realm. Like, that's one of the most famous people in the world, and I am just John at beginner trading. The only way, and I'm not famous, the only way people would know me is if I walked into, like, investing. Like, if somebody was doing an investing conference, I'm sure if I walked in, people would be like, hey, some people would. And I've had people recognize me before, but it's nothing anywhere close to the same as Mr. Beast. Trust me, I have no delusions of grandeur here. Yeah, I've got 4 XFAs right now. I've got 3. I got to activate one, but I got funded in another one yesterday. Unfortunately, I just lost that combine that I was in. I went too big on yeah, I went too big. It's all good. But I gotta activate another funded account today, which I guess I'll do right now. Yeah, I gotta draw levels too, because honestly, we've broken down to a point where I don't have any levels on the chart up. So let's do that right now. All right, so we got some spot here. Maybe, yeah, we'll keep it there. Keep it there. Alright, I think those are pretty good spots. Now, to get deeper levels, though, I'm going to have to go way back, to be honest. Let's keep going. I'm going to put a 15-minute chart up. Okay, here we go. Alright, so there's the rebound bounce that we're looking for. Look at this big rebound here. See, this is what I was waiting for too. Like, to be honest, I got stopped out of that last one going long, and it would have worked. I was just slightly off. Here, let's try another one. All right, guys, we're gonna trade NASDAQ regular contracts here. See, all my levels are gone though. Is there a way on Top Step X to like keep my levels up? Alright. If we get a dip down to this level, I'll buy into it, I think. John Sober stream. Dude, I get up at 6 a.m. every day. I'm not sure why people keep bringing this up like I'm somehow... Like, dude, I get up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Like, every single morning, without fail. Like, the reason we get, like, so many people watch my YouTube channel is because we're incredibly consistent. Y'all think if I was using something, I would be anywhere close to as consistent as I am? Of course not. Like, come on now. Don't be a hater. Alright, let's look at this level right here. I think this level might reject. Yeah, dude, like, what am I? Like, the only thing I'm on is coffee right now. And I got Baymax right here. That's the only thing I'm, you know, that's my vice. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even need to. Like, I've been prescribed ADHD medication, but I never take it because I don't like it. Trust me, I'm hyperactive without it. Like, if I take ADHD medication, I actually calm down a lot. Like, if I take ADHD medication, I literally sit still, which is very strange for me. I almost never sit still. And I don't like it at all. Like, it makes me sit still and, like, I don't have energy. And I sit there and it's just not the same. I never liked ADHD medication because of that. Like, you know, some people, they'll take ADHD medication and they'll just kind of zoom around cleaning and they have this big burst of energy and they're doing all this different stuff. I think that honestly means they do not have ADHD. Because if I take ADHD medication, I literally just kind of sit down. Like, my hyperactivity goes away, not increases. So I've never liked taking it. I never take it, you know. What's the correlation between yields and geopolitical tension? So yields are going to go down as we get weaker economy. We get a weaker economy and yields decrease. And the reason yields decrease is because yields going down signals interest rates going up. Or no, I'm sorry. Yields going down means interest rates going down with it. Yields and interest rates follow each other. And so anything that might contribute to a more loose, less restrictive Fed is going to make yields go down. Okay, so what makes the Fed loose, less restrictive? Economic and geopolitical weakness and turmoil, right? And so that's the correlation, is that as people speculate on a weaker economy, yields are going to go down and interest rates are going to go down too. And so right now people are speculating on a weaker economy because of tariffs taking effect today and all the nuance around that. That is causing the 10-year treasury yield to decrease, which again signals a higher probability of cuts. It's not probable, but it's more probable now that we're going to cut. It was like 2.5% likely that we were going to cut rates this month. Now it's like 11% likely, and that rate is slowly rising up. And so if we look at like TNX here, These are yields. And so as the tariff news has been looming, you can kind of see yields right here go down pretty big over the last few weeks. And again, I'm going to explain this correlation again because it's important for people to understand economics in this way. As yields go down, it means lower interest rate sentiment. As yields decrease, it means lower interest rate sentiment. So anything that might contribute to a lower interest rate sentiment, like economic weakness, is going to make yields drop because it means lower interest rate sentiment. Bond prices, like TLT, and the yields are going to inverse each other. So as TNX is down, I can look at TLT, and it's going up right now. Yep, see, it's going up in the same period because bond prices and bond yields inverse each other. Bond yields and interest rates parallel each other. And so that's the correlation. And once you can understand that, everything makes sense. Hey, what's up, Print? Hey, thank you, brother. I see you're a programmer, man. What's up, dude? What is it? Python, I think, right? Looks like Python. What's up, Print? How you doing, bro? Yeah, I mean, I do my best. Again, I don't ever necessarily see ADHD as a bad thing that I need to control. You know, I think a lot of people look at it like it's some type of bad thing you need to control. I don't necessarily view it like that. I think that I can get hyper-focused on things that I'm actually interested in. And I can use that hyper-focus in beneficial ways versus trying to control it and curb that a little bit. I just don't see the point in it. I think it can be useful. All right, so we're over this level now. We confirmed it a couple times. If we break underneath this and then retest it as like a head and shoulders, I might short it short term. See if we hold here, though, at this level at 340s. Yeah, I mean, I think that stuff does affect it, Fabio. To what degree, we don't know, but I think it certainly affects it at least a little bit. The correlation I've seen with that recently is that optimism overseas makes the market go up. Like people optimistic that the conflict is going to end is makes the market go up some, but again, we don't really know. Alright, so now we dipped underneath it here. I don't know if it's enough, though. I'll try shorting this, actually. Try to build up a cushion here. This is a combine account, so if we lose, we're out 50 bucks, basically. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, we can kind of add to this and take a risk if we get one, but we can use that level up there as a risk target. Small little trade right now, though. There we go. Take half off there. Lock it in. Somehow we just got a bad fill on the rest. Eh. Take half off here. Take some off. Protect the trade a little bit now. Flat on this position. We'll go ahead and just swing for the fences here, try to get that big profit first on this. And if we lose, it's okay. I think like one thing I like doing when I try to speed run these is I like to just go really big, one size. And if I fail, oh man, I'm looking the other way. Okay. Here we go. Nice. Oh wait, we're still in short. Okay. There we go. Not a bad little string of trades. We're now up 400 plus. So we did get that kind of cup and handle-esque pattern that we were looking for on that trade. We got 40 minutes left until the opening bell. All right, so now we're starting to creep back up. Let me check the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, stagflation, it depends. So if we get inflation spiking, I think we are in a stagflation scenario. Like if we see inflation spiking right now, I think we are in a stagflation scenario. And again, a lot of it depends on what payroll numbers show up as on Friday. Friday's payroll report's big, and so we get a lot of it depends on what those payroll numbers are. Somebody said the president speaks at 9 a.m. I'm not sure if that's right. Y'all let me know. PM? Okay, it's tonight. Okay. Rebecca, you're really delayed on the stream. Hit the live button next to the play button. It'll catch you back up. Nvidia's starting to bounce back. It's back over 110s this morning, guys. So back up to 110 plus. So it's tonight. All right, I'm gonna short this again. Again, this is a little bit against my rules, but like this looks weak enough to justify it, I think. Alright, so we just made another couple $100. We're now up about 6. Okay, it's an address to Congress. You know what's really weird is that Jerome Powell speaks on Friday. And when I click the link, it sends me to a Zoom link. They've got to be streaming it elsewhere, huh? It depends, Digital. You can do 50, you can do 100, you can do 150. So it depends. Everybody's different. And again, I just want to thank you guys so much, man. My channel has grown so much over the past couple months, man. So we're averaging on just no like we used to average less. Now we're averaging over 700. You know, we had over 800 here at one point. So we're averaging almost 1,000 people for our normal streams, and then our big streams are getting a lot of people. So it's fun, man. Thanks so much. I appreciate all the people here, regardless of whether I argue or agree or disagree with me. Again, you guys got to understand, I got the debater personality type, which I was never a big fan of the Myers-Briggs personality test, but like, so my personality type in the Myers-Briggs personality test is what's called an ENTP. It says, AKA the explorer or the inventor. Again, at the same time, I think these are a little bit kind of like horoscopes, where they tell you things you want to hear. And so, of course, most people when they read this are going to be like, yeah, that's me. But it says, smart and curious thinkers who cannot resist an intellectual challenge. No one loves mental sparring more, and it gives them a chance to exercise quick wit, broad accumulated knowledge base, and capacity for connecting disparate ideas to prove their points. Their strengths are knowledgeable, quick thinkers, original, excellent brainstormers, charismatic, and energetic. Their weaknesses are they're argumentative, insensitive, intolerant, and can find it difficult to focus. Yeah, that sounds like me. Dislike practical things. Yeah, I guess that's true. You know, they say they're using a different one, which is like the big, what is it, the big 5? No? I have a link, Cole. Yeah, I don't know, Kevin. I'm good, bro. I try to stray away from political stuff, brother. I just try to stray away from it. I'm not a big fan of political. Again, I'm pretty impartial for all this stuff, but the problem is that people are not. And so if I am just talking about what I hear, some people are going to start people are going to get weird, and some people might get mad, and it just might cause problems. Again, so even though I know I could probably get some great views from stuff like this, I'm just going to avoid it because it's too political in nature. Sorry, bro. No, today is Tuesday. Hey, what's up, R? So 101 I subs. Nice, man. If the market crashes, can it pressure for rate cuts? To a certain extent, yes. If the market crashes, it depends on why, though. So the market crashing can signal weakness in the economy. It's not the same thing. Like the market and the economy are two completely separate things. But one can signal the other, yes. I think Tesla's down a massive amount. And so I think Tesla's down a massive amount. Again, Tesla's problem is simple. They've built up a lot of big enemies. And again, people act like I'm like like chastising Tesla. I'm not. Tesla, I think Tesla, if they stay on the front of FSD, they're going to be fine. But I think Elon is a liability because Elon is way too political in nature. And I think whenever you get super polarized like this, I think here's the issue is that Elon is saying some incredibly controversial stuff. Just like let's throw some numbers out there. Let's say that it's like 60% of people disagree. Let's say 50% of people disagree with Elon. That means 50% of people are going to be less likely to buy his products. Tesla cars. They're going to be less supportive. They're going to be less investing. They're going to be less willing to hold the stock as it drops. And so I think he's just too political. Now he's really obviously friendly. And again, I'm not against you guys. I'm not political here. I'm talking about the risks, the very clear risks of Tesla. And I've been saying this for years. I like Tesla. I think if they can stay in front of FSD, they're going to be fine if they could stay in front of FSD, because I think the future is FSD, and I think cars are going to be driving themselves within 20 years. And if they stay on the front of that, they're going to do fine. The risks are that he's peeing a bunch of people off, bro. He's making people upset. He's discouraging people from buying his products. And now you also could argue, and I know a lot of people are going to argue that he's going to get it back. And like some people are going to choose not to buy his stuff. Other people are now going to be more supportive. But I think the issue here, and I've said this before, is that people on the right tend to be big oil. Like they're rooting for the oil industry. And so it kind of contradicts EVs in general, right? So like I think people on the left are usually more like supportive of the electric vehicle technology, and I think he's ostracizing a lot of them from him, and so I think there's risks in doing so. But maybe there's a big potential reward. I don't know. I'm not saying I agree with them or disagree with them or anything like that. I'm looking at the objective risks of Tesla. But I do like Tesla, and maybe there's some argument for Tesla being cheap here. I don't know. And again, I hope you guys understand, like, this is even a little bit too political of a conversation for me. Like, I'm not rooting for either side politically. I'm really not. I'm talking about the genuine risks of Tesla. And so here, look at this bounce. So we got this little bounce. We did get the little cup and handle rejection, although it took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. No, I agree. I disagree with Elon in a lot of ways, but I don't really care because I agree with the technology, right? Like I fit in that box. Again, I'm not really against him either, though. Like I'm very neutral on all of it. But I agree with the technology. I think EVs, more efficient vehicles. They're faster. They mesh better with technology. They drive themselves to a certain extent. I think that's the future, and I think convenience, necessity is the mother of invention. I think people need to drive. I think people need somebody like the car to drive them, and I think that's eventually going to create more and more of a snowball effect in EV, where cars are driving themselves within 20 years, like in a much more profound way than we're seeing now. But yeah, we'll see what that looks like. The biggest risks are legacy automotive brands that are jumping on board, but I think Tesla's got a lot of data as well. So. Yeah, I just think it has a risk factor. Yeah, so again, these levels are holding pretty well. I'm debating on whether I should draw another level here at around 350. But I think we got another level at 340 that's close enough. short a couple contracts up here and then leave it. See if we reject at the top level. Let's take half off. I don't like that. It popped up a little bit too much. We kind of retrace back down some here too. Well, now we're green. My level holds. We're gonna get out there. So we lost a couple hundred there, but we're still green, about 400 on the day. Yeah. That's me whistling. I don't know if I was whistling though. I think that was probably yeah, I mean, if we look at Tesla's, here's Tesla's numbers. Looks like me getting out was the right move. So here's Tesla's EPS graph, which is their margins. I don't know. Like, their growth is certainly down some, for sure. Like, here's their growth, right? Their growth is certainly down some. Look at this big pop. So we are getting a big pop up here. Is this NVIDIA? Big surge, big pop. Apple up there. Broadcom rebounding back up. Tesla moving back up a little bit. Just use the link in the description. Call me if you want to use my link. Just click on that link. The cookie will be there, and you know, it'll credit it to me if you do use it. $25 minutes left. Chat, 25 minutes left. Alright, we're right at that 200 exponential here. We might have a little area between this that I gotta document some levels on too. Let's see if we hold here. Is Nightbot not working? Should be working. Let me see. Yeah, it's working a little bit today. Yeah, so it's at 9 p.m. I see that. Let's see, commands. Yeah, it says commands should be working here. Let me try. Yeah, for whatever reason. Oh, there he goes. Nightbot's working. I was gonna say. Give me a follow on x.com right there if you want to help support your boy here in this channel. We are building that up. There's the link right there. Give your boy a follow here. We appreciate it. Again, markets in turmoil. Markets testing the NASDAQ here. We did get that pop bounce some, though. I'm going to short. We're going to take our big swing here. I need about another couple $100. So. We got 5 contracts. We got 3 now. Don't do it. We got a nice little cushion on this though, but it looks like we're yeah, we got 20 minutes until the opening bell. I'm hoping we get some downfall here. Let's retrace. Kind of flat now. I appreciate it, guys. He's speaking at 9 o'clock tonight, they're saying now for some reason. The star's written on U.S. products. Man, so we're getting some support at the 200 EMA. I am seeing tech ride up here, to be honest. I'm going to have to start unloading some positions here. I'm going to take 2 contracts off, even though I might be right here, but like it's just taking too long. Okay, maybe I should have held it. Oh, dude, I got to fake out here. We're getting really choppy ahead of this, but do you need me to zoom in on the charts? I can zoom it in. Again, this is a combine account, so like if we lose, it's not the end of the world. Like we're okay, just for context of it. I'm never gonna trade a real account like this, to be honest. But here, I can zoom in some if it makes it easier. But this is probably the best move. Is that better? I can maybe like lower this. Is that better? Like that's a little bit more zoomed in view of it. I mean, you could watch me get eliminated on this one. I mean, I'm already up 400 though, so we got a chance for a rebound, but it's not looking good. I gotta use my own levels. Look at that level held. We should have bought that dip. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get eliminated from this one. Again, I trade these in pre-market to just have some fun with you guys. I mean, I don't necessarily like losing, but this is a challenge account. So if I lose, it's not the end of the world. I'm still optimistic though. Listen, maybe we pull back. I'm sure if I lose, people are going to tell me I'm the worst ever. Definitely top 3. Honestly, tech's just given such a strong rebound. Microsoft bouncing, Meta bouncing, Tesla bouncing, Broadcom bouncing. I don't hate the idea either that like we are really weak. We bounce up a little bit and then we continue down. I don't mind that thesis, but you know, I guess you could argue the other side that we're extended on the upside. No, I've never traded there, Sarge. Yeah, so this is a funded account program, guys. So they give me a 50K demo. That's what you see me trading on, 50K demo. If I can make 3K in profit without losing 2K first, following their rules and conditions, they fund me 50K with a 90% split. And so I can only make 50% of my profit target per day. So I can only make, here, I'm going to limit some of this and take some of this off here just to limit my risk. Even though it's looking a little bit more bearish now. That way we're kind of flat on this account, even if we lose. But again, I got to make 1,500 one day, 1,500 the next. If I can do that, they fund me 50K with a 90% split. I also get to keep my first 10K in profit. And I've got 4 other funded accounts right now. If I fail, it only costs $49 to try the challenge. So if I fail, it's $49. Not the end of the world, very small loss. So the most I'll lose here is $49 basically. If I pass it, I get a 50K funded account with a 90% split. I'm trying to build up 1,500 in profit first. But I think I just got to go for it here, no? And so that's what you see me doing there. It's called Top Steps Funded Account Program. It's a great way to learn. Most day traders lose. And so you can either lose $49 trying to learn, or you can lose thousands like most new traders end up doing. The latter makes no sense. Most day traders lose. Doesn't matter what course you take, who you follow. And so if you want to check it out, there's the link. Great way to help support the channel. Right now we are down. Is that lightning? Y'all be safe right now, man. It's raining on my end. Oh man, we're up. Okay. Now we're kind of flat on the trade. All right, well, we're making money now, but we'll leave the rest here. We'll only add to it if we need to. All right, so what time is Jerome Powell? Jerome Powell speaks on Friday. He speaks at 12:30 Eastern time, so 11. Oh man, so we did get this big brutal breakdown here. We're gonna add to it now. There we go. Man, maybe I should just trade when I'm not looking here. This looks like... All right, well, we're up big now. We made a bunch of money when we weren't looking here. We're up about 5 on the day now. All right, guys. So we got this big, brutal breakdown here. This big, monstrous drop here. We did make a good bit. Hold on. Okay, guys, so market did flush down pretty big. We're going to be a little bit more patient waiting for the opening bell now as we get closer to the open. The VIX is increasing, which means the market is decreasing. Honestly, what my son said wasn't wrong. My son said he thought we would bounce back a little bit and then come back down, and that's kind of what we're doing. That's kind of the trade idea I've taken, too. Yeah, so funny enough, my... All right, guys. So, yeah, market is still flushing down pretty big. Jack was absolutely correct. We got 10 minutes until the opening bell, guys. 10 minutes until the open. So, again, I'm muted right now. I know I'm talking to somebody else. It's all good. We're getting closer to the opening bell. We got 10 minutes. Let me know bullish or bearish right now in chat. Bullish or bearish. Market is flushing down here. Do you think we'll break lows again today? I think it's possible, but 10 minutes left, chat. All right, guys. So, yeah, sorry, I was on the phone. So we're bouncing back here. I'm going to take a little bit of a short on this pop back. I know we got 7 minutes until the opening bell. We'll see if we can catch something here. Because I want to trade my funded account after the opening bell. So we're going to go max size. I know it's a little crazy, but let's see if we get that retracement back up. Sorry, I've tried to scheduling some stuff here. Actually, this might be a little bit too crazy of size. I'm going to start unloading some here. So we just took, now we're in max size here. Let's see if we get some gains. There we go. Oh, terrible fills. That's better. We're in 2 contracts here. There we go. We've already got a nice cushion on the day too, so like even if we get out of this one, we should be about flat. I want to trade my actual funded account at the opening bell. That's the only thing. That's why I'm trying to get this $1,500 up first, but yeah. There we go. Whoa, my goodness, dude. Oh. That was way too much that we just made. Now we gotta try to lose some money, dude. What a drop. We made too much. I'm gonna buy this. I gotta try to lose $1,500 basically. $1,800. Can we lose $1,800, guys? Sheesh. Y'all be careful, man. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes left. All right, guys, we got 3 minutes left. I gotta try to lose $1,800 now, is what the predicament that we're in. You can only make $1,500 per day on these combine accounts for the base one, I mean. And so I gotta try to lose a little bit. There you go. Come on, give it to me. There you go. Treat me bad here. I think the fills are in my... Oh my gosh, dude. Of course, my luck here. What is going on right now, bro? What the heck is going on right now? Why? The opening bell's got to save me here, guys. The opening's got to save me. Who's insider trading, bro? You think I'm insider trading? I actually went over where I was supposed to make. What insides do I have? You think I got connects on the NASDAQ? Come on now. I mean, I know I'm top 3 greatest ever, but like, come on now. Come on, give it to me. Lose. Go down. There you go. That's what I want. Come on, break down more. Yes. Give it to me. There you go. Yes. This is exactly what I want. Okay, look, we're kind of there. Now we're kind of there. We got to lose another 1K. Okay. Getting there. Less than 1,000. All right, guys, here's the opening bell. Y'all think something's fishy here? I'm not being fishy. Okay, let me explain to you guys what I'm doing since people are having a hard time understanding. Okay. This is a 50K demo account. As I said multiple times, I'm not going to trade my live funded account at the opening bell. In order to get funded, I have to make $3,000 in profit on this 50K demo account. But I can't make more than $1,500 per day. And so my goal is to make $1,500 one day, $1,500 the next day. If I make over $1,500, they extend my profit target. So where now I got to make like another $2,000 or something like that. I don't know what it is. And so I actually made too much money to where right now I'm up $2,500 on the day. That's too much. If I let the profit close at that point, then they're going to extend the combine. I'm not going to, it's going to make it worse for me, not better. And so, because it's a challenge account, it's a 50K demo account. And so I actually have to lose $1,000 in a demo account to hit the $1,500 profit target that I'm like, the profit, $1,500 profit limit, I should say. That's what I'm doing here. Nothing's insider trading. I'm just, it's a funded account program. Anyways, opening bell is here, guys. Let's see what we get. Yeah, why can't that happen when I'm trying to make money? Look, I'm going to buy this market just because it's kind of sketchy. So we're going to buy, hope it breaks down against me, and just have fun with it at the opening bell. There's 5 contracts. My rule is I don't trade after the opening bell. Oh, did we do it? No, don't make me. I think I lost money, but I don't know if I lost enough. Hey, we're almost there, honestly. We need to lose like $200, bro. So I'm going to buy because everything looks kind of scary. And we're going to add to it until we break down some here. There we go. It's done. We did it. We were up $1,500 even right now. $1,503. They give you a little bit of room. But we did it. Goal hit, guys. We did that. We lost money on purpose, and we actually came out ahead. All right, guys. We're going to switch to our actual funded accounts. We're going to switch away from the NASDAQ here. A little bit too variance heavy right now. And we're going to go to the micro NASDAQ. All right. All the Wall Street hedge managers. Dude, listen, y'all think they're going to message beginner trading over here? Come on now. I mean, I know I've been right about CPI, and I'm the greatest ever, and I'm the most handsome YouTuber, and like, money and candy flows, when my presence is here. I get it, guys. Like, I get it. All right. Mahogany John is my name. I understand. All right. The problem is that my name's beginner trading, and I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. No hedge fund manager is messaging me. All right, guys. So bull or bear right now? I'm waiting a couple minutes. We're trading our actual funded account now, and so. The VIX is going up. Market's going down. It's not a shock to see the market red at the opening bell. I would short it. We're just 2 minutes after the open. It's too risky, volatile. All right, waiting for the market to settle down a little bit. guys. We just tapped lows, got a liquidity grab. Now we're popping back up here. All right. I do want to short this. It's kind of risky though. If we get a little decent pop up, I will short. The problem is Nvidia's starting to creep up there. Let's break it down. Meta. All right, we're short. A little risky position here. I'm gonna short into this level, see if we get a turnaround, and just get punished on the upside. Yeah, I mean we lost like $90, so it's not too bad. We'll see if we can fight our way back up. Nvidia's creeping back up. I think the extensions may be on the downside. We liquidity grabbed down there. This is a risky one. Here we go. Alright, well, we just made it right back. We're basically flat on the day now. 90 down, 90 up. Oh, I definitely short. I just don't. Listen, I short day trading as much as I want to do. I don't short blue chip healthy companies. Like, I'll short the futures contract. I'm not going to short Tesla specifically. I'm not going to short Amazon. I'm not going to short Walmart. I'm just not going to short it like that. But I will day trade short for sure. But I'm not gonna bet against the strongest companies in the world for any significant period of time. The only way I'm ever gonna short is day trading, you know. Markets are rebounding. Nvidia's hitting that previous closing price at 114s here, chat. 114. So this is a big level. Again, yields are down over the last few minutes. Look at this rebound here, though. Wow, crazy. Yo, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, chat. We appreciate it. Look at this green. Wow. I'm going to short this. It's a little bit too strong. All right, we're out. We are now effectively green. Ooh, we're up a small amount here. That's good. I'm going to switch funded accounts now, too. Yeah, well, the market dumped so massively. Bitcoin back up to 85K. Looks good. VIX is going down, too. Yeah, it's definitely bullish right now. Tempted to buy this, too, but it's not quite big enough. Should have bought it, I think, but it's all right. And again, if you want to try out TopStep, TopStep gives you a demo. They test your skill with the demo first. If you pass the test, they fund you. You fail, you only lose what you pay for it. In this case, it's $49 for the base one. They give you a 50K demo. You can make 3K in profit without losing 2K first. Following their rules and conditions, they fund you 50K, 90% split. You get to keep your first 10K in profit. If you fail, you lose $49. And if you fail it, you can then use a practice account and practice and learn. It's one of the single best ways to learn day trading. Most day traders lose. And so if you deposit thousands, you're probably going to lose thousands, let's be honest. Instead, try this. It teaches you how to trade, teaches you how to follow rules. If you fail, it's not the end of the world, but you're still risking something, so you're learning how to trade under pressure. And if you use my link and go to TopStepX, there's 0 commission, tiny amount of fees per contract, and 0 commission, and so you can trade micro contracts. It's very similar to day trading stocks. There's no PDT rule, and it's just a great way to learn. If you want to check it out, here's the link. Best of both worlds. If you lose, you're out $50. If you pass it, for the base one at least, you get a 90% split, so you can then, if you're good enough as a trader, withdraw fund your own account if you want. A lot of great resources, to be honest, and here's the link right here. But understand, they are an affiliate of mine. I am biased. I get paid by them. Top 3 most biased trader of all time ever in the world, some say. And understand all these rules. I have no freaking idea what I'm talking about. I might be wildly wrong about anything I say. Don't copy me. All right, so market's dipping down here. I'm really tempted to buy this dip. You know what? I'm gonna try it. We're gonna buy the dip. All right, we scalped a little $20. I'll take it. We got to build up a cushion on the day first. Bad fill though. We didn't really get a good fill. Let's see if we can buy another dip. Right there. Come on. Definitely a little crazy on the day. I gotta cut this quick. All right, now we're down on the day. We're going back and forth though. It's a big turnaround here. Everybody's talking about market crashing. Well, the market's not really crashing. It's correcting for sure. I mean, it's definitely down at least 10% in a lot of places. Nvidia, you know, NASDAQ. There's the bounce. So it's just a little early, I guess. I'm betting on the upside, but the risk can get really high quick, so. There we go. All right, took half off, but it was a bad fill, I guess. I'm gonna add more to this position. Not really the greatest fill here. Another huge dump. All right, so we're gonna pause our trading for a little bit. Switch our accounts. I don't want to lose too much, to be honest. We'll switch to this one, which we're green on right now. We bounced right at this level. The market's just chopping me back and forth though. So we're gonna short this. So we made a little bit there, not much. Yeah, honestly, it's up and down such a big amount. Hello, John. Please tell us a little bit about the recession while inflation is a problem. Well, we're not in a recession. Inflation is feared, but it's not super high either. And again, I know just me saying that is going to make people be like, what, bro? Inflation isn't high? I'm talking about recent inflation, not the inflation that we're dealing with from 5 years ago. I'm talking about the rate at which inflation goes up recently. It's only at what, 2.6%. It's as expected in most reports. So we're not really seeing stagflation is what you're referencing. The economy's weaker for sure, but GDP's still at 2.3, 2.4%. Payroll's still been pretty strong. Unemployment's still relatively low, and inflation is still under 3%. And so we're not really in any of those things, to be honest. Look at the market dump though. Right now what we're seeing is a market correction because of the tariffs. Now this might signal a weaker economy, but it's not as weak enough to call it a recession. Yeah, we're not in a recession, basically. VIX is popping back up as we test lows here. Yeah, the market's very flat, very stagnant, very choppy, going very neutral here as well. My hands are kind of off, to be honest. I'm just not really liking any of this. Bro, you're missing out on big moves? Yeah, I mean, big moves down, up. You know, oh no. I'm just, again, guys, markets are a little bit sideways. This is not really a market where I want to trade this right now. We're red on one account, green on the other. The range is too big, but we're also stagnating. So I'm not really, like, Meta's down, Microsoft's up, Nvidia's up, Palantir's down. Like, we're kind of flat in that way. I don't know if there's much edge right now. Yeah, it's so choppy. It's not time to enter, I think. Yeah, maybe we're headed towards a recession. I don't know. I got to see some signs in GDP first. All right, so now we're right back up. But again, we're in a big choppy range. Like, look. Down, up. I'm not really interested in doing anything right now. This is too risky. Bitcoin's up, though. It's up to almost 85K. That's good. Natty gas. I don't think we have anything else today either. No. Williams is speaking later. European unemployment rate came in low. Yeah, so some people are saying my affiliate link gave them a $10 cheaper combine. It might be a new dashboard thing available, so that's cool. right, so we're right back up. Yeah, the Dorito. It's too hot in here. Ouch, dude, my ankle's twisted. I would be interested in buying this dip up right here, but I think it's a little bit too sideways in nature. I know this music is sad. I'm sorry, guys. Here, let me change it. This music's kind of sad too. There we go, Jamaican lo-fi. I like it. Very choppy range, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna trade anymore today, man. The market's kind of boring. Not a lot's going on. Tomorrow we got non-farm employment data. The whole rest of the week is busy. We got jobless claims Thursday, non-farm employment Friday. Or no, I'm sorry. We got non-farm employment data tomorrow at 8:15, early. ISM services later on in the morning at 10 a.m. Thursday we got jobless claims, the trade deficit, which is very relevant in terms of tariffs, non-farm productivity, wholesale inventories. Friday we got non-farm payrolls, unemployment, and Powell speaking at 12:30 Eastern. So next week we got CPI, PPI, Michigan consumer sentiment. Again, guys, this does not look like any good edge to me right now. I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Music made me write a breakup letter. Hey, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Hey, I love you all. Y'all have a great day. Check out Top Step if you want to help support your boy here in this channel. Link is in the description as well as in, yeah. Again, for some people, it's giving them a little bit cheaper. But, yeah, y'all check them out. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Y'all be good. Have a great day. I'll see you guys later. I'm not really liking this sideways. I don't feel like if I stare at charts, I'm going to give it back. So listen, I love you all. I'll see you guys later.